Hello everyone, welcome to Clantis podcast. Guys, let's talk about a very burning issue that is happening in South Africa right now, and it could involve the President of the United States, Donald Trump, and I hope that sanity is going to reign when it comes to this topic, because it's getting a lot of South Africans really ruffled up. I mean, I'm talking South African feathers are all over the show when it comes to this topic. So, as you would know, that South Africa has 9 provinces, and one of the provinces in South Africa has been targeted. And I've told you guys this before over and over again, that South Africa is under siege. It is under siege with propaganda. It is also under siege with all kinds of other campaigns that are aimed at destroying the good name of South Africa on a global stage. I mean, in my last video, you guys already saw what I talked about when I was at the airport. That was disproved. And now we have a gentleman by the name of Phil Craig. Phil Craig is a born British man, and he would come to South Africa back and forth in the 90s. Eventually, he decided that he is going to settle down in South Africa and basically follow the laws that will subsequently let him become naturalized citizen of South Africa. I believe that did happen in the early 2000s, 2001, 2002, or somewhere there. He was naturalized as a South African citizen, and those 22 years, he was basically quiet and minding his own business. And out of the blue, about 3, 4, 5 years ago, he had a, I don't know what you would call it, in his head that, I don't think we colonized this country enough, but I want to become a king in my own fiefdom in South Africa. And the Western Cape, where Cape Town is at, became his target. And he attempted, or he has opened, a political party that basically aimed to succeed the Western Cape, which is the 9th province of South Africa, as an independent state. Basically, he calls it Cape Independence.
Cape, because what we're looking to create in the Western Cape is an ideological homeland for people who think like us, people who have broadly Western values, who want to live in the first world, and you know, want to and I've often used the example, the Western Cape becomes almost like Israel for the Jews, if I can use that example.
And I think that's what the political party is also called, Cape Independence. And the aim is basically to succeed the Western Cape out of South Africa, and it becomes its own state within South Africa. I will remind you again, this is a born British man who was naturalized as a South African like a Trojan horse. He now has these ideas and ideologies, and he is now on a global campaign so that this dream of his, wet dream, to succeed the Western Cape so that it becomes independent, he has now apparently the attention of Donald Trump, allegedly. And I'm not quite sure if they've already met or they're yet to meet. And I think the reason why he sees Donald Trump as an ally to Cape Independence may be because Donald Trump does have an eye for a beautiful place and turn them into what he described the Gaza Strip in Palestine as whatever he did when he became president. And I think there was even a video that was doing the rounds about how the Gaza Strip is going to be turned into a Middle Eastern Riviera type of situation. So Phil Craig was like, that's my man, and he will understand my dream of cutting off the Western Cape from the rest of South Africa, and we can actually turn it into a Southern African Riviera with Donald Trump putting up his own businesses and business interests that he has been doing over the years as a property developer, hotelier, or whatever it is that he was doing. So I'm not quite sure how that is going to go, and if Donald Trump is going to give him the ear. That will be very, very interesting because, again, South Africa is an independent state, it's a sovereignty, and it's also a constitutional democracy. Our constitution is the supreme law of the land, and every province in South Africa is recognized and protected by the constitution in section 103, subsection 1A to I. It basically that outlines all 9 provinces, and then of course there are other provisions on the what do you call this, our provinces, and it's not federal, but there is some federalism within our provinces, but all of them pay homage to the Constitution of the Republic of South Africa. So this guy, he thought, hey, we are going to hold a referendum in the Western Cape because the people of Western Cape want to secede from the rest of South Africa so that the Western Cape becomes an independent state, meaning the owners of South Africa, when they want to go to the Western Cape, they will have to enter through passports and visas. Can you imagine the audacity, the gumption, and the chutzpah of this British man who thinks that we are still in the 16th century, where he just goes and says, I like that piece of land and I'm discovering it and it's going to become my colony. I think the man, he lives in his head as a king of some sort, because once if he does succeed, and all the people that support him will find themselves subjects, if not peasants of his. But that's never going to happen, because South Africa, as I've said, it is a constitutional democracy, and the constitution of the country is the supreme law of the land, and it speaks nothing about succeeding or secession of any part of South Africa.
We are freeing the Western Cape from the Cape Independence Party. We want them to pack their bags and get the hell out of town. So this is my friend Julian.
How's it?
We have a petition over here to have Phil Craig deported back to where he came from. I put a petition link on my bio as well. We want to get 1 million signatures to get this guy, Phil Craig, out of South Africa. There's no space for an immigrant in our country who wants to segregate us for the second time in one lifetime. Send him back to England and he can go and free England from London. Signing this petition symbolizes a lot more than just deporting a village idiot. This symbolizes that we as citizens are sick and tired of identity politics. It also symbolizes that we all show politicians that we are in this together. In order to send that message, we have to show that we want it. We have to show that it's important to us, because otherwise nothing's going to change. If you are in the promenade, come and find us. I'm wearing this t-shirt today. And come sign our petition and come say hello. Maybe we can make a TikTokie. If you're not here, go into my bio. The link is there. And yeah, it'll take about a minute to put your voice behind this movement. We do love immigrants. We do love tourists. But we have no time for immigrants who don't know their place. We should also start a movement banning immigrants from coming here and dividing us. No place for immigrants in politics. If you want to be in politics, go to your own country. Cause your own shit over there. I'll see you soon.
Yes, South Africa does have a country in its belly called Lesotho. Not only Lesotho, but there is also another country that is almost inside of South Africa called Eswatini, former Swaziland. And so he probably thought, if Eswatini and Lesotho exist, why can't the Western Cape be a country of its own, just like Lesotho and Eswatini? Like, you just really have to be a psychopath to think like that, especially when you were born in Britain. I mean, we know the British Empire and its colonial journey over 80% of the world. Not a good history at all. And in the 21st century, we have a man like Phil Craig who spotted South Africa and thought, let me let this one ripen. At the right time, I'm going to rise and then scream on top of Table Mountain, Cape Independence. Imagine that. So right now, South Africans, of course, many South Africans aren't familiar or educated about the constitution of the country, and that is why some are actually panicking. And I think the reason why some are panicking is because Donald Trump might get involved and support this rubbish called Cape Independence. So like I said to you guys, as South Africans, we are going through it. And I say going through it, we are going through it with every propaganda you can imagine, disrespect of the people, as well as the sovereignty of our country. And we're also wondering, where's the president in all of this? Because the president swore to defend and to protect the Constitution of the Republic of South Africa and its sovereignty. And we have a Trojan horse that just has, I don't know, burst out its stomach and it's showing its hand, and the president of the country with all the power invested in him to basically take away the privilege of naturalization from this British man, send him packing with his family back to England. Because to me, this is tantamount to high treason, espionage. And any South African that support him and they are part of this political party called Cape Independence ought to be charged with high treason themselves, especially now that they may have the ear of Donald Trump. I think that is what is making a lot of people panic. Well, I'm not worried because we are a constitutional democracy and our constitution is quite clear on provinces, and there are powers that are invested or vested in the president, as well as the premiers, which you guys in the US and elsewhere, you will call premiers, governors. Well, we don't have states. We have provinces in South Africa, and there are 9 of them, and the Western Cape is the 9th one under Section 103 of the Constitution, subsection 1I. That's where you will find the Western Cape. And if there should be any decision, like major decisions that need to be made about a province, an act of parliament will have to be enacted in order for that decision, like succeeding, for example. 2/3 majority of members of parliament will have to rule in favor of Phil Craig. And I don't think any member of parliament who are South African citizens will say, oh, we agree with Phil Craig. 2/3 of us in parliament will vote in his favor. And boom, let's give away the Western Cape to a British man. So if you are hearing these talks that are coming out of South Africa, that is nothing to be concerned about, especially those of you who want to shut us down about illegal immigrants that are in South Africa causing all kinds of havoc, which, by the way, part of the under siege that the people of South Africa find themselves in. Don't get me wrong. We appreciate people that come to South Africa that are non-South Africans. We welcome them with big open arms, but we are saying be here legally. That's all we are asking for. Be here legally so that you will always be comfortable amongst us. We are very welcoming, and if you are legal and you are contributing positively into South African society, we will love you even more. And we will appreciate it if you open your heart to integrate yourself to our lifestyle or assimilate one way or the other. You have so many choices to make. You are spoiled for choice. You can delve into the Afrikaans culture. You can delve into the Xhosa culture. You can delve into the Zulu culture, the Sotho, the Venda, the Tsonga. There is so many stuff that you can delve yourself into and be part of us, and we'll be very happy and welcoming. But if you are here illegally and we don't know how to get hold of you, if you do something heinous towards us, then no thank you. We cannot accept that. But other than that, guys, I thought let me come here, and in case you are like, what's happening? What's going on in South Africa? Who's this Phil Craig? He's a British man, lived here for 21, 22 years, and now he wants to succeed the Western Cape and turn it into his little fiefdom. Because in his mind, I think he's a king. Well, anyways, I'll leave the video right here. Please don't leave without liking, sharing, commenting, and subscribing. And I'll see you next time with a new video. Goodbye.